And I'd like to welcome you to the Talk of Santa Clarita Live, featuring the 25th Congressional District primary election debate. Tonight should be informative and hopefully entertaining. Early voting is about to get underway, and I think the candidates are all getting anxious to be done with the primary. So with that out of the way, let's get talking.
We used to have like full gardens with vegetables and everything in here, but running for Congress has made that a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
You like his haircut?
Oh, yeah.
This is Marty.
Why did I decide to run? So I'd been working my whole career in homeless services, well, most of my career in homeless services, and I thought that was where I was gonna stay. We had this huge success passing Prop HHH in Los Angeles, but instead of being able to celebrate, it was on the same day Donald Trump was elected president, and we all knew what that could mean, that social programs across the board were at risk. You know, so many of the fundamental values about what I care about and the people that work for me and that, you know, are in my community care about are completely in jeopardy.
So funny. Easy.
The 25th district is a large district. It's pretty spread out. We have the largest number of law enforcement professionals living in our district than anywhere across the region. And we're very much just middle and working class families, tons of nurses, tons of teachers. It's been historically Republican. That's always how it's been known. But the reality is that actually there are slightly more Democrats now than there are Republicans in this area because of how the area is changing. And so I was thinking about all that and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should.
So welcome everybody to my apartment, which is our unofficial campaign headquarters. It's where Katie spends about 70% of her time, maybe more at this point, making phone calls, just reaching out to folks and letting them know about the campaign. We used our living room, which we've added some folding chairs and a couple tables too. When we first moved in, that was our refrigerator, because apparently in California, apartments don't come with refrigerators, which is just mind-blowing to me. Katie and Kenny were kind enough to give us one of their old ones. So this is where I work. I'm a neat freak. I think it's pretty clear. I can't do clutter. It's a grassroots campaign though, so it's got to be kind of grungy looking. First heard about Katie, I think in April of 2017. There's a really incredible article about her and Elle, and it kind of said that she was a candidate to watch. Nobody knew much about her, but she had an incredible biography, and she was known as somebody who was a talented potential candidate. So right now our main competition is Bryan Caforio. He does have a higher name ID and a higher starting point than Katie, so we've been kind of playing catch up this campaign.
I'm Bryan Caforio and I approve this message because I'm ready to hold Trump accountable.
Everything, which is what we love about it.
Oh, thanks. Hi!
30 ABC. How do you get to 30 ABC?
We are at the San Diego Convention Center for the Democratic Convention, the State Party Democratic Convention. There are thousands of delegates here, and our goal is to try and block the endorsement that my primary opponent got back in January, and we're trying now to kind of overturn that so that it goes to no endorsement.
And if we do that, then we are going to prevent him from getting the nomination of the California Democratic Party. And basically what it means, if you're the nominee, is that you can put on all your literature endorsed by the California Democratic Party, which in a Democratic primary in California carries a lot of sway.
Jeremy Thompson confirmed that he will come and vote on endorsement.
Okay, that's big. I'm gonna text him.
Katie's a first-time candidate, and so it's tough to get endorsements like this. Bryan's already run, so he's already had time to build relationships with delegates, and a lot of this is a relationship game.
Can we get a meeting with Hillary Hall Puente?
Yeah, so I texted her, and she hasn't responded.
Call her.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm good. I'm outside the Labor Caucus. I'll text you.
Katie's meeting with a couple delegates right now, and actually we don't know what side they're on. We kind of think they lean the other side. Politics is really weird in that, you never really know if someone is truly telling you the truth.
Holy shit.
What? Who? No way.
So I got a text in that somebody might be in play who initially we did not think was going to be in play at all. So
A lot of it's a whisper game. So like even if they're talking to other people and saying, well, I met with her, she's not that bad kind of thing, that helps, right? Like that helps so that there's not as much enthusiasm to vote against me.
He's not showing up, right?
No, he's coming and voting no endorsement.
I don't.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
I missed that.
No, we got 2.
I'm still so mad that not one woman has gotten the endorsements. If a woman can't get it in the year of the woman, then I do not understand how we call ourselves the progressive party.
I mean, it's absolutely, there's a very frustrating element about that.
It's incredibly frustrating because, what are we going to do? I still feel good, though. I don't know why.
I'm thinking that we should have some sort of get-together, and I'll let you cut my pony off when I donate my hair. I'll let you be the one with the scissors to cut my pony.
Awesome.
You want to do that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Who are you donating it to?
I'm going to donate it to children with hair loss.
Nice. So you're donating the money too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's great.
Yeah. No, I donate the money to your campaign. And then donate my hair to the children with hair loss.
Oh, okay.
You cut as much as you want so
God.
that you can boost up how much money you get. No, seriously, hair is not something I care a whole lot about.
Jeez.
We're about 20 minutes away from our big vote. Right now, we have a certain number of people who have told us that they are on our side and that they're here. But the thing is people keep wandering off. So it is actually hurting delegates and making sure that we keep them in the right area.
I saw her, but I don't know where she went. I really don't.
She said she voted already. Did they already?
I didn't know. I didn't even know you could vote yet. Maybe she meant downstairs she voted. They're sending their people over to try and snipe people from our side, and we're sending people over there to try and snipe from their side. And then you come in and you like block them, and you're like, hey, and interrupt them on like the conversation, and you're trying to like protect your people.
Katie has the best chance to beat Steve Knight. No one will dispute that.
That's an argument. Well,
so let's do
that
it.
is disputed.
By who? We got more money, we got a better bio, we got polling that shows she's better in November. But if your goal is to beat Steve Knight, Katie is the only one.
Did you already vote?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
I voted for you. Thank you. Rooting for you.
Can everybody please be seated? We're starting the in-person caucus, so it needs to be quiet here, please. First speaker will be Katie Hill. The second speaker will be Bryan Caforio. They each have a total of 2 minutes.
All right. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much to each and every one of you who has been here. We're Democrats, and this is about unity. And I know that this has been such a tough time for many of you to make this kind of a decision. And ultimately, I just want you to know how grateful I am and how excited I am to work for you and with you as we go into November. Thank you.
Okay, can you go ahead and start?
I'll echo what Katie said. Thank you for putting in the time, putting in the effort, and doing all you can to make this the strongest community possible. So enjoy the rest of the convention, and thank you so much for what you do.
Okay, without any objections, then I'm going to close the balloting and read the votes publicly. So last call, no more ballots. I don't see anybody here. Okay, so we're closing the ballot.
Shawnee Badger, no endorsement. Abad Ayana, Katie. Lisa for Bryan. Bryan for Bryan. Hillary Paul Fuente, no endorsement. Andrew Munson, Katie.
Katie Hill got 8 votes. Bryan Caforio got 28 votes. And there were 17 no endorsements. No one gets the endorsement.
So they just counted the votes, and no one was able to get 60% of the vote, and it means that it goes no endorsement. That's the end of that.
We blocked it. We got what we were looking for, and the state party just won't show that anyone's been endorsed in this race. They won't send out mail on anyone's behalf, and then there's no state party slate or anything like that that says, oh, this is the endorsed candidate. So instead, people are going to have to base it off of whatever else they hear, which is now why we have to raise a whole bunch of money so we can communicate the message.
I need you to win.
We're gonna fucking crush him.
I need you to win.
Now we can go have a drink. I'm planning on having a few.
Are we gonna play HQ?
Oh, yes. Shoot. Well, is it set? Is it on yours?
I got it.
I think we're the most millennial campaign ever, where all of us are taking a break to play HQ.
It's 12 minutes. It's good for the brain.
Let's see if it's the annoying guy or the like kind of okay girl.
Yay! She's so much less annoying.
Kid, did you hear that?
I'm gonna text you about this guy. Hey, happy birthday, by the way, man. Cool. Later. Bye. I think that most campaigns tend to skew young because if you have things like a mortgage or a family, it's almost impossible to work these kinds of hours. Morgan is the one who makes sure that Katie gets to places on time, which is probably the hardest job. Kelsey assists Graham with the fundraising. She does all the events within fundraising. Graham is the one raising all the money. That's probably right now the big thing that we're focusing on.
Polls being released can give you a decent idea of what's going on in the race, but the only real barometer that you have is who's raising the most money. Everything else just spin. And so that's, like Jay-Z says, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. What's really benefited Katie's campaign is that a lot of, wealthy women in Los Angeles have kind of taken her under their wing and introduced Katie to their networks.
Oh, here's Pepper. Hi, Pepper. Well, we, the fundraising was great last quarter, but this Emily's List thing is big, and I wanted to touch base with you about it. Do you think you'd be willing to sponsor it? You were the best, Pepper. Thank you so much.
Emily's List, well, there's actually no Emily. Emily is an acronym. Early money is like yeast. The whole philosophy is helping women raise money to run for office. Being endorsed by them just gives a certain aura of credibility to the campaign. Like, oh, Katie's legit.
Yeah, we've already been doing that. You get a lot of conflicting mandates from the different powers that be. This organization is saying fundraising should be 100% of your focus. And mind you, no one is saying I should focus on anything in the community.
So call time is pretty much exactly what it sounds like.
Hi, how are you?
Katie's chained to a desk, calling one target after another. The typical day, try to call at least 100 people. Ideally, I would like her here to be pretty much all day, Monday through Thursday, from like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the phone. I think we average a 19% contact rate, and then of that 19%, usually about 60% will donate.
I know that you are doing very well for yourself. I'm hoping that I can count on you, sir, for $100. We are dialing for dollars. It's important to smile while you dial, because people can feel it through the phone. You know what, though? Let's live a little. How about $250? We have 1 week left until the end of quarter deadline, and we need to raise a ton of money.
It's Katie Hill. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to touch base with you. We're coming in on the last couple months of the campaign, and I'd love to let you know what's going on.
This is real important because it's the last deadline before the primary. We actually have to buy our cable ads in the beginning of April.
Hi, Marcy. How are you?
The market here is crazy, and how are you supposed to get your message out without the money? There's no way.
We are going to be doing a fundraising email blast for y'all sometime in like early to mid-April. So.
As the quarter comes to a close, we find that we raise most of our money in the last week, and even more specifically, the last 3 days.
We still have, how much more do we need to bring in, Kelsey-ish?
125,000.
Hi, Dana, it's Katie Hill. Hope you're doing well. This is Katie Hill, the congressional candidate endorsed by Emily's List, running against Steve Knight. Hello? I get it. I'll hit you up after your vacation. This is getting ridiculous.
Give me the phone.
They're all shit calls,
Give me the
too.
phone.
They're answering, but they're shit.
Just call him. You just keep dialing over and over again. We have double dialers, we have triple dialers even.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you later.
And it's fun, but it is incredibly boring.
Okay, we're like so freaking close to 400K. Okay, text him. We're all doing like booty call texts. Well, Kelsey's is. She's texting all of her ex hookups. You have 28 minutes. It's probably longer than most of the times you slept with them.
Katie!
You know we're 10 minutes away. I need, from you, drum up another 250.
I will take 150. Thank you, sir.
All right, well, my clock says 9.
All right, do the numbers, man.
Let's find the numbers.
Well, that can't be right.
Why can't it be right?
Because it's at 0.
Oh.
All right. This is a very conservative estimate. There's probably a lot more floating around out there in the mail still. We are going to clock in at $395,872.
Nice job, team.
We missed our 5s.
Wow.
Time for a drink. Let's drink. It feels like we get a day to celebrate and then we start raising money again.
Welcome. Andre's assigning turf in the back. Matt, thanks for coming in on a Saturday. Hello. If you guys have not checked in with Ben, he is going to be your first step shop before we launch into training. So you're welcome to head over to Ben.
Do you have the app on your phone?
Yeah, I think
with PDI Mobile Connect, you can connect to
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
yeah, no, I
The
have
username
it.
and password is there.
Thank you so much for being here. Knocking on doors is the #1 way to get people to polls. They are 7 times more likely to go and vote if you knock on their door. That changes things. That's putting names and faces to a campaign. Just some standard best practices for canvassing. Think about how you feel when somebody knocks on your door, because I want to get out of the situation as quick as possible. Just like the polite little knock, it says, hello, I'm here not to sell you something, but to smile at you. And don't get discouraged either. Not talking to somebody does not mean that you did not get your point across. A door knocked is a door knocked, and that is good in our book. A question that you're gonna get, because it's a primary, is what makes her different from other Democrats. Easy talking points is that she is the only Democrat from this district. She grew up in the AV and in Santa Clarita. She went to all public schools in this area. Her father's a police officer from here. Her mom's a registered nurse from here. Another thing to mention, it's not on your issue sheet, but in external polling, which means that polls that we didn't do, Katie is up Steve Knight 13 points. And the next closest Democrat is within the margin of error to lose. Thank you so much for being here. Have an awesome morning. Call me if you have any problems. I think that this is going to be an awesome day.
Sorry, missed you?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi there. My name's Adam, and this is Zakia, and we're volunteers with Katie Hill for Congress. Supposed to be going to this one over here, but it doesn't look like they have a very welcoming entrance.
Hi, how can I help you?
Good afternoon. My name's Adam, and this is Zakia, and we're volunteers with Katie Hill for Congress.
I've heard of her.
All right.
Oh,
Sure.
wonderful. Let's see.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
your day.
much. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that was good. Someone had already
Likely
heard me.
to vote?
Yeah, likely to vote.
There have been times that I've wanted to quit. This is a hard thing, especially when I look at my life, right? The things that we were able to do, the traveling, the hobbies, all of that stuff. And some days it gets to you. Dude, you stay? I know, hi. When someone said to me, someone in the Democratic Party told me, you're running a great campaign, your fundraising is really impressive, but I just don't think a woman can beat Steve Knight. I have honestly been really surprised by the sexism. It never felt like something that I was dealing with in any way, shape, or form. And then suddenly in politics, you're like, oh yeah, you definitely are dealing with this on so many different levels. I think probably how often I feel like an asshole is one of the biggest surprises to me for this whole thing. You're not there for people that you care about anymore. That's the hardest part. You just don't feel like you're there. My mom has had one of the harder years of her life, and she literally had to schedule an hour and a half with me through Zach this morning, and we had breakfast. And my dad, my dad doesn't even invite me to things. My sister went to a Dodger game with him the other day, and normally I'd get invited to that, and they all know that the answer is gonna be no, so. We are headed to debate prep with Bill Burton. He's a total pro at this.
He helped. Who's that guy?
Who was that guy?
Oh, President Barack Obama.
Oh yeah, that
Right,
guy.
that guy. How could I have forgotten?
I think I feel just super inauthentic in those kinds of settings. I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons I stumble some at the debates is because I'm like, if I give the perfect answer for 60 seconds, then it's all just crap.
There will be one specific question for each candidate from another candidate, and there will be at least one specific question for each candidate that the committee put together. There will also be an oddball question.
He often asks like what your favorite movie is, what your favorite band is. I have too many, but Fifth Element is the one that I go with.
Cool. Are there any group endorsements tied to this? Like, are any groups helping to sponsor this?
Well, one of the people sponsoring it is a donor to a candidate who's not Katie or Bryan.
No, who's sponsoring it?
Some rando from the district.
That's nice. Just a good citizen?
Just a good citizen.
I'm skeptical.
I've come to not trust anyone's motives about anything anymore. So.
I think we should talk a minute about what the overall goal is here. Any one of these debates can get a lot of attention if there's one small thing that you say that gets captured.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get a lot about my resting bitch face, so
I would never say anything like that.
But we all know the truth.
I know that you went into the last one a little bit sick, so.
I don't know if I was sick, honestly. I was.
That's what we were telling people.
Cool.
Okay, so I think we should dig in. Katie is great. I mean, she's a pretty unique candidate. She has a great grasp of the issues. I think that the issue for her is that the debate is late at night. It's going to be 2 hours. It's going to be very hard to keep energy up the whole time, but I think that she's not the sort of candidate who struggles with what she wants to say or really how to say it.
Hey, how's it going? So I wanted to know in 90 seconds, what would you have to say about the Iran deal?
That you support it and would have voted for in support of it had you been in Congress back in 2015.
So we gotta play the John Oliver thing.
I'm gonna say one thing at a time.
We gotta find a spot that's actually relevant.
And fun fact, if Iran complies just once more, they win a free meal at Pizza Hut. So...
Oh, I studied for debates. John Oliver. She's gotta have this freaking memorized.
Aliso Canyon?
No, Iran deal.
You're gonna kill it.
Thank you.
You know all these answers. Just make sure you keep your energy high all the way through. You got this, though.
I'm up here by myself. Wow. At debates, most times people ask you not to applaud. Screw that. If you want to applaud, do it. And everybody, thank you for coming out tonight. Hopefully we'll have some fun. Okay, thank you.
I have issues with all three candidates, but I also think they're all outstanding in a lot of ways.
All right, let's start off with doing the introductions. First person we want to introduce is Jess Phoenix.
The Jess supporters do not like Katie at all.
Is this where I get to do my intro statement?
Not yet. We're
Okay.
gonna get to that. You're over eager.
I know.
Bryan Caforio.
The Bryan supporters do not like Katie at all.
And finally, Katie Hill.
The Katie supporters love Katie. That tension, it's not just a normal I just don't agree with that candidate. It's like, I hate that candidate.
I'm going to do a foreign policy question. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or the Iran nuclear deal, seems to be in a crisis mode right now. My question to you is, do you support this deal? And if you do not support it, what do you propose as an alternative? We'll start with Jess.
Trump, by so casually and cavalierly saying he would get rid of the deal because it's bad, is really harming national security.
Let me do one quick question to you then, just a simple yes or no.
Okay.
If you had been in Congress at the time that had gone through, that deal was going through, would you have supported it?
Knowing the facts about the deal, yes.
Okay. Katie.
The Iran deal is an example of how diplomacy and how sanctions can work, because no matter, we have over and over again seen that the folks who are holding Iran accountable, who are checking to see whether they're upholding their end of the bargain, are So they are. We've had 10 times now that they have been. So if we back out, if we're the ones who don't uphold our end of the bargain, that sets a dangerous precedent. That means that any time that we're trying to go into a negotiation, that we are saying to the rest of the world, let's make a deal, which President Trump is supposedly the king of, that we can't back out. You just can't. We have an obligation to fulfill our end of the bargain as long as the other side is upholding theirs. And until we have any kind of evidence to believe that they're not, we have to uphold ours.
So you would have supported the deal?
Yes.
Okay. Bryan, we've had this discussion before.
I believe Donald Trump is a clear and present threat to our national security. And it would be really foolish for us to blow that up right now. And I use that term on purpose.
Would you have supported it?
Knowing all the facts, absolutely.
Okay. Jess, the interesting thing to me, I'm told from at the convention, was you were going around just saying, hey, what's going on, but didn't seem to be seeking an endorsement. Why is that?
So, first-time candidate. I don't have a bunch of high-paid consultants telling me how to do things. Honestly, I am not that concerned about endorsements before the primary. I am concerned about getting regular people and having them talk to me, and so that I can actually understand what their particular issues are.
And I just want to take a quick survey. How many of you actually own guns? Raise your hand. Katie is the only one. Let the record show that. Okay. Bryan, what do you tell somebody that has an AR-15 that you're not going to infringe on the Second Amendment? What do you say to him?
He's just flat out wrong.
Okay, but
Look, Stephen, I went to Yale Law School. I worked for a federal judge on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I've read the Supreme Court cases, and for hundreds of years, the Supreme Court has said specifically that you can put protections like that in place to save lives.
We'll move on to Katie then.
Yeah.
Katie.
For me, what you say to somebody who says that this is an infringement on your Second Amendment rights is, I'm not trying to infringe on your Second Amendment rights because these are what I consider something fundamental to how I operate and how I live my life as well. So to me, it's saying, what can we agree on instead? We know, Second Amendment, I personally don't think that we should ever say to somebody, you're wrong. This is part of the fabric of America, whether we like it or not. And you're never gonna be able to be successful in passing reform that is actually effective and actually matters to save lives if you can't get the other side on your same team. So that's something that I believe is truly at the deepest part of my being.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the debate. We'd like to say thank you to all the candidates. I hope you guys enjoyed the talk.
Good work. Yep, you too.